Well, welcome to the first ever Event Rider Masters preview show here at Leg 1 in the 2018 series at the Dodson and Horrell Chatsworth International Horse Trials. EquiRatings are going to be crunching the numbers all weekend, and Byrne joins me now. We're looking forward to your insight throughout the weekend because we know that EquiRatings basically tell us what's going to happen before it happens.
Yeah, I think it's going to be easier for us this weekend than most, Nicole. I think the stats tend to play out really, really well at Chatsworth. There's one thing that dominates this venue more than any other.
So what do you need to do to win here at Chatsworth? What's going to take Leg 1 in the 2018 Event Rider Masters series?
You absolutely can't win Chatsworth without speed. So the key stat, the one we talk about all the time, we're now 1299, so 1,300 runs almost, 17 years, and only 5 people have ever been inside the time.
Only 5?
5, so...
My word.
And 4 of them are Event Rider Masters rides.
Okay.
So you had 3 last year. You had 1 the year before, Chris Burton and Jemima. You had to go all the way back to Astia Nicola quickly to Bugey in 2013. And other than that, nobody's making the time here. So if you can find a fast horse, there's probably 2, 3 in this field. You just fly up. You make up, I think, the 3 people who've FOD'd at Chatsworth moved up 59 places.
FOD is finishing on your dressage score. We love the FOD,
yeah,
don't we?
It was so important. I mean, we saw Janelle Price doing it last week. We will see numerous people doing it across the Event Rider Masters. If you can FOD, we have a specialist in the field at doing it, Mr. Bass. He's done it at numerous CIC 3-stars. If you can finish on your dressage score, that is the whole point. If you cannot add penalties to that dressage score, you have so many opportunities to climb the leaderboard.
You make it sound so easy.
Yeah.
Really, really do. But, okay, let's go to the first phase, the dressage. We've got the new scoring system that's been brought in this year by the FEI, the removal of the coefficient. How's that going to affect the leaderboard?
Yeah, I think people are starting to get more comfortable with the removal of the coefficient. I think people are starting to understand how, what kind of effect that's going to have. 2 big things. A 45 in the old system, in old money, is now a 30. So if you think of the top dressage riders, most of them would want to be not only sub 40, they'd probably want to be sub 37. They're the type of scores that people wanted. That's in the old system. So now that they're all in the 20s, you have to be in the 20s really to have any chance. You want to be aiming at a finishing score, even at this venue, which has the highest average finishing score of every one of the 13 big CIC 3-star venues in the UK. This is the highest. I would say if you're far above 30 here, you're probably not winning.
Now, please tell me, are you going to be relying on my mental maths this weekend, or have EquiRatings crunched the numbers to take that into account?
Yes, everything that we do, I mean, it would be terrible if we weren't able to even get this far, Nicole, but everything that we do is obviously taken account of. So every record that we talk about, it's taken account of the adjustment. So
Okay.
If the old record was 45, which it would have been here a couple of years ago as a finishing score, we're now telling you that the record is 30, and it was set in 2013 by...
Perfect.
So everything's adjusted. So if I say that someone's broken a PB, it's not because their last dressage score was in the old system.
That would be brilliant.
But
But I'm glad you've done the hard work for us all. I really, really am. Okay, so dressage. Who is going to be leading tomorrow night? Saturday night, who's going to be out in front?
I would think we're looking at Thibaut Villette.
Okay, Frenchman.
King de Brio.
Okay.
I mean, when we talk about those sub-30 scores, and you begin to look at the types of scores he's pulling out. Last time we saw him was at the Europeans in Strigom. That was 24.1. Jardy before that, Event Rider Masters, like 23.2. Now that was on a surface, and it was at home. So do we take that with a pinch of salt? Maybe, maybe not. But then he went to badminton the time before that. 25.8 is what that score would look like now. Rio, the Olympics, before that, 27.3. I don't think there's going to be many in this field who will be able to go past King de Brio tomorrow. But I don't think he'll be good enough to beat the record at this venue.
Okay, which is?
Don't
actually... Don't tease us and not tell us.
The record at the venue is actually last year.
Okay.
The ERM record is last year. That would be Upsilon Tom Carlile. 33.2 was what they scored. That actually... No, is it not, Nicole?
I'm thinking Sailor Lan, Kitty King, 2016.
2016, the very first year, that was 32.9. 21.9 is what that Event Rider Masters record would look like.
Okay.
But that's only the fourth best. If we look at all time. So like if you want to break the all-time record here, you're going back to 2014, Chilly Morning and William Fox Pitt.
Okay, so you're saying that Thibaut Villette, King de Brio are going to be leading the dressage. Who's going to push him close?
It's an interesting one. I think the French are very strong all the way across the board. I think one of the ones you'd be looking at is probably William Fox Pitt, Be My Hero. How are they going to come back and what are they going to be like to look at? Sandman 7, Pippa Funnel, you know, can they deliver a clear cross country? We'll wait and see, but can they deliver a clear, you know, an excellent dressage test? Absolutely. Who else is on my list? I think Entebbe de Ouse is going to get a lot.
Karim Legoire.
Yeah, they're going to be
two Event Rider Masters legs, 2 podiums.
I think they'll be ones to watch until, well, I think they could be ones. I mean, a lot of people are putting them on the podium for the whole weekend. So I would think they'll definitely be ones. Couple more in there. Janelle Price, Ferry Dianimo, can do a very good test. Zen Shearer, Roz Cantor. For Ireland, Sarah Ennis, Horseware, Stellar Rebound. That will, he like rocket is what he's called.
Bit of a Chatsworth specialist as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Was it 3
runs here?
Yeah, 3 top
He's
10s.
won, he's been second and he's been 8th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite a form run.
I would think, I mean, what I'm seeing there is I think there's going to be plenty of people in the 20s. Will there be a record broken? I don't think so. I think it will be tight.
Okay.
I think it'll be very tight after. And that's the multiplier coming into effect as well. You know, I think there's not going to be a whole lot between. There'll be less than a pole between all of those, I would suggest.
So EquiRatings are going to tell us Thibaut Villette, King de Brio are going to be our leaders after the dressage. But show jumping is so influential in the Masters series.
Yeah.
Can you win without a clear round in the show jumping?
In an Event Rider Masters, like,
Yes.
yeah, it's so influential in Event Rider Masters. And what's going to be fascinating this year is how influential it is when you put the removal of the multiplier on top of it. So even in old money, only one leg of the Event Rider Masters has ever been won when you had a ball down.
Oh, pop quiz. Who?
You surely know.
Gemma Tattersall, Arctic Soul.
I knew you knew.
Cross country machine at Gatcombe last year. Still one of my favourite rounds ever.
So, but that, you know, that speed cross country was what gave them the ability to come back from that. And that day kind of played out in their favour in that the ground would have gone against a huge amount of combinations. On your normal Event Rider Masters leg, standards so high, fields are so tight, if you knock a pole, you can't win.
You plummet.
I mean, you can, but it's very, very rare. It's happened once. So, goal tomorrow, keep the poles up. Of the list that I've talked about, people that have given themselves a good start, I think Thibaut probably goes and jumps clear as well.
Okay, so he will be leading going to the cross country, we think.
Yeah, I think he's the last person out
I
cross country.
The predictions are coming out early here. We like them.
Yeah. Who else? I think actually probably tomorrow on Sunday morning, I think the French are going to be the ones to look at in terms of those clear rounds. Gwendolyn Furr, Romantic Love, we saw that at Pole, you know, now a 4-star winner. Donatien Shauli, Karim Legoire on Tebe. I think the French are going to show jump well. When I was telling you my dressage leaders, Nicole, this is where it gets really interesting. Tune in for this.
Okay. Should we take a breath?
Yeah,
are we ready for this little bit of wisdom? Go for it.
Dressage leaders.
all of them are going to be in this sub-30 zone.
Okay.
I expect a few of them knock a pole.
Okay.
Drop down a little bit. They probably move now into maybe positions 10 to 20, having been in the top 10. But what that means is the ones that jump a clear round, Nicole, who are sitting just outside potentially the top 10 after dressage, they're going to move in. They're now going to be probably in that last 10 gone out cross country. And this is where it gets very exciting. Who is it? Maxime Levio. I think Cloudemare is going to jump a clear round. Mr. Bass, Laura Collett.
Your favourite horse in the world.
I mean, the really big one for him is he's 19 career CIC, or 3-star, I should say, jumping rounds, or 21, and he's jumped clear in 19.
Okay.
He's a machine. Like Kitty King, Sailor Land, they're horses that if you get the opportunity to watch Mr. Bass show jump on Sunday morning, definitely
enjoy
do.
it.
Yeah, wonderful.
Okay.
Who else moves up? I think Matt Heath is going to move up a little bit, one of a kind. Sammy Birch, Hunter Valley, you'd be hoping for a good dressage test from them, and they stay up there. I think Sarah Ennis has the opportunity, almost like Thibaut, I would suggest, having done a very good dressage, maintains her position with a clear show jumping around. That horse can show jump as well. So keep an eye on the French on Sunday. Keep an eye on the movers who are sitting just outside, probably in that. They've probably done a dressage test of 30 to 32. They're not in the top 10, but they're better show jumpers than plenty in the top 10, and they all move into that zone, I think, of probably the last 5 or 6 out after cross country.
Okay, so show jumping's going to be influential. The French are really dominant here, but if we turn our attentions to the cross country, you've mentioned the speed. You've mentioned how important it is that the leaderboard is now very, very tightly grouped with the removal of the dressage multiplier. So every single second, 0.4 of a penalty, remember, for every second over that optimum time cross country. Ian Stark's track here at Chatsworth is tough. It is a jumping test and a time test. Who can do it?
Let's think about how this plays out. Everybody is talking about Thibaut Villette, including us. No doubt, we'll get swept up in the hype. But what's going to happen this weekend is on tomorrow evening, people are talking about the wonderful test that Thibaut Villette delivered. He goes and jumps clear on Sunday morning. People are talking about Thibaut Villette being last out. They're going to be talking about the French. They're going to be talking about the French prepping for Chatsworth and how amazing they are. You're going to have Gwendolyn Ferr in there. You're going to have Karim Legouag and Tebede Ouz. I think you've probably seen a situation where Maxime Levio and Claude Maire have really slowly crept into consideration.
Like the silent assassin.
Quite like a silent assassin, if that's the way you want to go, yeah.
We'll go with that.
So they're sitting, in that kind of assassin situation, just behind everybody.
Right.
What I think is, we talk about speed. We're going to talk about it all the way across this weekend, how important that speed test is. Claude Maire, last 3 runs, Nicole, all at 4-star level, and has finished on his dressage score at every occasion. This is a horse who can show us some speed. He can show us clear jumping rounds in both phases. He will do a very good dressage test. It would be 45, 46 in the old system. That in any other year other than last year would be almost enough to break a record at Chatsworth. I think as we move to look who wins it, I think there's one other one that's probably gone under the radar and probably becomes a big climber on Sunday afternoon. He's done a fairly good dressage. He has knocked a pole on Sunday morning. And then nobody's talking about him, really. It's a grey. You know how it is.
Andrew Nicholson, Swallow Springs. Very fast here last year, weren't they?
One of the fastest, only 1 second
Okay.
over. There was only the, only the 3 that went inside the time last year. They were the only faster rounds.
Is there a little bit of magic here? The magic of the greys? Because the 3 that made the time last year, all greys. Swallow Springs, a grey.
Nicole.
No?
The magic of the greys. I mean, the magic of the greys does such disservice to all those wonderful riders, to all those
all your
wonderful
wonderful
horses,
stats
and
as
all
well,
this
sorry.
work. No magic, absolute coincidence.
Okay.
But you are right to target the grey this year. Swallow Springs, really fast. I expect he'll be right up there. Will he be good enough in the first phase to climb onto the podium? I don't know. But he will be a big climber. He may do it. We saw Soladoon climb last year. We saw Colonel MCJ with Marcio. 2 clear rounds, huge climbers last year. My podium. Are we getting to podium time?
I think we're going to put the podiums out there. Give us your podium, the top 3, EquiRatings podium for leg 1 of the Event Rider Masters series.
Nobody talks about him. Everybody focuses on the wrong Frenchman. But the winner will be Maxime Levio Claude Maire.
Silent Assassin. Mm-hmm.
New name for
That's
him.
going to stick.
Okay, let's push that. In second place, we have the horse that is the best at finishing on the dressage score. Nobody will be talking about them after day 1 because they've probably done a test about 31 area.
Okay.
And that's Laura Collett, Mr. Bass.
Okay.
They will show jump clear. They will be fast. I hope they go for it. But if they go for it, they will be fast. And I think number 3, a lot of people will tell me it's Tebede Ouz and Karim Legouag. If he jumps clear, yes, he has a chance, but he has to jump clear. And I don't think that's a guarantee cross country in the same way as lots of people around me do. I think the stats for me show me
I know you do, but the stats will show you that it's in no way guaranteed. In no way guaranteed. So I'll go for one who's very reliable cross country, who has got speed, who has got course form, who can do a good test, who can show jump clear. She's from the Emerald Isle. I don't know what else. I don't know any other
Chatsworth
reason
form.
why we should not put her up. It's Rocket, it's Horseware, Stellar Rebound, and it is Sarah Ennis. They make up my podium. Nicholson is very close to it. Gwendolyn Fair is very close to it. Maxime Debedeus is a 50-50 chance of being on the podium or being in the bottom 10.
Karim. I'm going to say Karim is going to be on, and Tebi
Karim.
Dahus is going to be
Karim.
on my podium. I'm going to say Maxime Livier, Karim Leguag, Laura Collett, Mr. Bass. And take two of the same as yours.
Yeah, I think they're all strong. I think they're strong. I think, set yourself up with a good dressage test.
Yep.
Show jump clear.
Easy as pie.
And then cross country jump clear. And then it's just going to be about like how much blood that horse has.
All about the time.
Yeah, how fast can they be?
Ian Stark's track is going to be tough. Thank you. We'll be following the EquiRatings numbers throughout the weekend. We'll be looking back at some of your predictions as well to see how accurate they were. We hope you've enjoyed the Event Rider Masters preview show here for leg one of the Event Rider Masters at the Dodson and Horrell Chatsworth International Horse Trials. We'll be bringing you all of the action live and free at eventridermasters.tv. Don't forget to get in touch with us on Facebook and on Twitter. Use the hashtag ERMEventing, and don't forget to tune in, because I tell you what, it's going to be a cracking weekend of top class competition.